I'm going to talk about the experience of shamatha. Yeah. Listen very carefully. You can have some coffee. So the experience of shamatha meditation, actually the instruction of shamatha has been approved or orally or verbally, very, very, one teacher to another, one individual to another, long time, right? So maybe you would like to know that how are the stages of instructions of shamatha. Well, there are actually five different stages of shamatha. Maybe this is too much, so I'm not going to teach you all of this. But the experience of that arises fifth stages of shamatha are, I mentioned this early this morning, but there are three experience. We call it bliss, clarity, and the absence of thoughts. For example, while you're meditating, you might experience a great sensation of bliss or happiness. And later this happiness or bliss then disappears. Just to experience that, very shortly. Wow, this is amazing, like that, Or one day you sort of suddenly a great sort of clarity arises in your meditation. Or you might experience a state sort of devoid of conceptual thoughts. These three experience, major experience at the end of meditate shamatha. Not beginners. No experience for beginners. You just practice shamatha, no experience. Just really you are struggle with your thoughts, right, for first time. And then do this more and more again and again and again. If you don't lose confidence and you have enough diligence to meditate, then definitely, 100% sure, you will get this experience. But it depends your diligence. Practice a lot, because our negative emotions, so powerful. So many lifetimes we build this habit, what do you call it, habit patterns? Yeah. So that's why it's so strong. You cannot diminish just by a little bit meditate. You have to work with this, many years, year by year. That's why I think we don't have really great meditators these days. These days, very, very few meditators. Long time ago, there were great meditators while Buddha was in India. During that time, lots of like this. They called 6 ornaments student of Buddhas. And then also they called supreme 2 students of Buddhas. So these are amazing teachers. Also there are some 80, really masters in India. But nowadays, some are really good, but not many good teachers. Yeah, Mahasiddhis, Mahasiddhas, 80 Mahasiddhas. Oh, so many. Amazing. This 21st centuries, we have so many things, right? And so many distractions. And then people are just involved with that things, then it's not many good teachers, unfortunately, I think. So it depends you. Meditator, good meditator, that's actually we're looking for. Kambos, Turks, all these many things, not necessarily good meditators. They understand very well intellectually, but when you heard somebody's really good meditator, that is the best teacher. So it's up to you. You maybe in the future become a very good teacher if you really practice meditation diligently. And we need the Tibetan teachers come here. I think their motivation is, to help people that eventually their student teach other people and help others. That's, I think, their motivation. So, especially in this country, very powerful. But there are so many things going on, and they're not good teachers. Buddhist, not good Buddhist teachers. So we have to really focus on that and try to, like for instance, we have today lots of people. Maybe eventually, like 30 years after, we find like 2-3 people really good. Then that's really good, So what I'm trying to say is, when you get this sort of experience, 3 major experience of shamatha, bliss, clarity, absence of your thoughts, this experience you will get definitely at the end of your shamatha meditation. The great master Kamalashila says that the first you experience a very sort of subtle sensation, and you don't know if it is in your body or it is in your mind. You just, feel very subtle, sort of pleasant sensation. Very nice, very enjoyable, Later on it becomes this experience kind of stronger and more clear, and then it is sort of definite sort of pleasurable sensation. Still later on it becomes very strong, this happiness, this bliss experience, very strong, and you experience sort of a very happiness and very comfort. So that you will get if you have enough meditate. Then you become very confident of your meditation at this point, if you get this experience. But you should not become sort of attached to this experience, or you should not pride of this sensation and think that it is special. It is special, but if you attach this experience, then they will go away. They will really go away and disappears, and then you can't develop your meditation, anymore because of the attachment. Attachment is the obstacle. One of the three poisons. Attachment is one. So it will kill your experience if you attach to this experience. You just let go, right? When we normally, when we have a good meditative experience, we think, oh, this is. People really think this is wonderful, and I must become a good meditator or good teacher or something. When we have this experience, and also when we have bad experience. On the other hand, we think, oh, this is very bad. I'm really doing everything's wrong. I can't sort of develop my meditation anymore. So that's usually we think. But whatever experience arises, good or bad, we should let them go and it just continue meditating. The good meditators, they have this experience. Sometimes you get good experience, sometimes bad, and then you stuck there because good experience, you attach to it. Bad experience, you worry a lot, you lose your confidence, then you stuck there. So you just either good or bad, just let go, like your thoughts. When you meditate, your thoughts arise, you let go, right? And then you can focus on. So because to see the true nature of your mind, nature of phenomena, you have to have a clear understanding and be able to focus the mind on the object for as long as it's necessary. So whenever you notice that your mind has wandered away, bring it back to the object of meditation. The more often you notice that you have been distracted, the more your mindfulness is progressing,
Khenpo, have you realized that you've gotten attached to even a small, minute experience of bliss or a small, minute experience of clarity? Should you go back and practice Thangma meditation or loving kindness meditation again to help your meditation get past that obstacle?
No, you just let go. Let go that attachment, your experience, just let go and continually when you meditate, focus on whatever you meditate. But this experience, you get this experience not so easy. Eventually, yes, you will. Eventually, if you have, like, for instance, I would say shamatha meditation. You meditate like 3 years shamatha, then you get this experience, maybe. I mean, that means like every day, maybe you practice like 1 hour for 3 years, then you will get experience. That means you build up your your mind is pretty clear and very sort of peace, yeah.
I was wondering, how long do these experiences usually last?
Well, that depends a person. Some are really long, some are short. It depends. So many different. We have here lots of people and different experience. Even though we focus on one, sort of thing, like focus on the breath, just we did this morning. Same meditation, but different experience because of the different characters, the different personalities, So it depends the person. I can tell, sometimes very long, sometimes very short. But when you're, getting better and better at this experience, you get more and more and longer. Yeah.
So there's nothing to follow in that experience. I've had it happen twice in my life.
Well, that is.
And when it happens, because it's a question I've wondered about for a long time. The first time it happened, and I wanted to go home and share with my wife. Couldn't do it. Once I started thinking about it, it was gone. It took 6 years before it ever happened again. But I I didn't know whether it was something you should try to follow, or like you say, this first time I heard somebody say it, let it go.
Let go, don't follow. Either I'm not sure this experience coming from, you have this experience because of your shamatha meditation or something else, I don't know, right?
12 years of meditation.
Okay, so good for you. And I mean, that is good sign, good sign. But you can't attach to it. See, then you never experience until like 6 years after, it will go away. If you attach to it and you maybe get a sort of pride, I'm good one. And then it will go away. It will go away. And also it's very important that when you get this experience, don't tell anybody else. Okay? I mean, only you can tell your root teacher. You have to tell your teacher, I have this and this experience. Is it good or bad? What should I do with these things? You have to tell your teacher, and then they know, your teacher know that what should you do the after, But just regular people, you don't have to tell that. There's no reason to tell, So I mean, you should keep that experience and let go and do meditate on, and then it's going better, better, better. Good for you, and I'm happy.
Why would anyone pay any attention to meditative experiences at all?
No, you don't have to pay attention to that, but it's just automatically come.
No, I
You
know.
don't you want have this experience. That doesn't mean it will come.
I understand, but my question is more, is if the problem is if you pay too much attention to results of meditation, that you're actually going to block your meditation, what would be the reason? It would only be to know where you're at on the path, what stage you're at on the path.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you should just forget about it and just meditate.
Right,
Meditate and
right.
meditate.
Right, because this is if you attach to this experience, that means you will lose your meditation. That means you build negative emotions, right? So then, for instance, like if you practice compassion, then you reduce your anger. If you get an anger and you follow that, your compassion goes down because they're not, they're opposite each other. They're just sort of contradict each other. So you more compassion, less anger, right? That's same. If you have more attachment, then your experience less experience, because attachment is negative emotion, we call it. I'm not saying that you have to know also attachment and love different, okay? Sometimes people really misunderstand. Oh, you can't have attachment. Attachment is like a poison. It will kill you. And then people say, well, how about my wife? How about my husband? How about my children? That's love, right? Not attachment. Sometimes mixed, yes. Attachment and love mixed. But you have to figure out that you have to separate, Attachment, you don't want attachment. You want love, right? Love. So love and attachment opposite. I mean, it's not, they're different. Of course, then anger, ignorance. That's we don't have, we don't want, right? But sometimes people think attachment. Sometimes I like attachment. That's wrong view. Maybe people misunderstand attachment. Love is almost kind of same thing, but that's not true. That's different. So then another you need to understand is the shamatha meditation. It's alone. Shamatha meditation alone will not be able to remove all afflictions, afflictive, or what do you call it, emotions, and destroy the misconception of self. So if either of this is the missing, then the true nature of things, true nature of phenomena cannot be perceived, right? So you need to have both shamatha and vipassana. That's why Kamalashila, you already know that Kamalashila, the stages of meditation, says that the mind will be distracted to different objects. If you cultivate only vipassana without developing shamatha meditation, because shamatha helps your mind stable and peace and relax. That's all, right? That's all. So if you don't have that, then even though you practice vipassana, it doesn't work. You're distracted, because your mind is not peace and stable. And also without the shamatha mind, it will be very unstable, like a butter lamp in a wind. It's very, very, very unstable. So, and also vipassana, of course, mind. Vipassana meditation is actually the antidote, the eliminate, can sort of diminish all your negative emotions completely. So that's why you have to have both shamatha, vipassana. Shamatha makes your mind very stable, relaxed. You can focus whatever you want. And vipassana meditation, you can diminish all your afflictions. So that's why we're saying that you have to eventually practice the union of shamatha and vipassana meditation. So, shamatha only, not good, eventually. Vipassana only, not good. So, both really good. So, that is a little bit like, experience, three major experience of shamatha meditation. Eventually you will get. Understand? Happiness, or what do you call it? Bliss, yeah? We call it deva. Deva means bliss. Very just you can you can sit like this, forever. There is nothing wrong with physically, mentally, just I don't know how you understand if I say bliss, but in Tibetan, deva means just you can't actually explain this word. It's really comfortable, something like that. That's one experience. Second is clarity. You see things very clear. My root teacher told me, when you get this experience, you can read other people's mind. And it also is dangerous, right? If you attach to that, you read somebody's mind and what they think. Maybe they think you are a bad person. Maybe they think you are something wrong. And then you get angry, right? So that's also dangerous. You should not focus on that. You should not read other people's mind. You have to investigate not investigate others. That's always we do. Because if you have this capacity, then you will see what they think. There is a great meditator, teacher in India. He passed away. During there is a rule, Buddha said, the student and teacher, they have already relationship, student of teacher. The student, even though better than a teacher, sometimes that happen, right? So then Buddha said, the student cannot investigate your teacher at that time, because you might see something, that not good things you will see your teacher, because you can read your teacher's mind, you can understand what he thinks, you can understand where he is, maybe like first bhumi, second bhumi, maybe you will see you are the second bhumi, And your teacher is first Bhumi. Maybe you think, oh, I'm better than my teacher. So Buddha said, can't read your teacher's mind, even though you're better than your teacher. Buddha also said, when you don't have teacher and student relationship, you have to investigate your teacher, right? Because you have to find a good teacher. Once you get a good teacher, you can't investigate anymore. Understand? So Buddha said that, and then this teacher passed away, and the student really, okay, now we investigate him. Where he already passed away, where he go? Then they, meditate in where he is and how good his teachers after he died. But I think that also not really, not really good. Once you have a really Dharma connection with your teacher, you don't have to investigate. Whatever you see, whatever he do, it's your teacher. If you investigate, you see something bad, it's not good for you. Because then you have sort of, you will get some negative emotions, So the clarity is also dangerous. It's really nice, you can see things as, they're true, and you can see something is going on behind this building. You can see, you are here today and you can see your house and everything over, in Minneapolis. It's clear. You can see that things. But that's experience, just let go. That's about shamatha. Yeah. And now, Vipashyana. So, the Vipashyana means, Sanskrit, Vipashyana. V means actually special. And the second part, Pashyana, means to see or to look. So it means to look at things in a very direct way. Okay? That is the definition. That is the characteristic of Vipashyana. And also, especially clear way. You sort of look at things very clear way. So the Buddha's stress also says that Vipashyana has the clarity of understanding, and which everything is seen clearly and distinctly. For instance, the relative, right? The relative is seen as relative. The absolute or the ultimate is seen as absolute. So the actual nature of things is seen as it is. And this is what meant by Vipashyana. So when you look at your mind, you will see the nature of your mind. So this, the explanation of Vipashyana, or we say the insight meditation, is divided into 5 parts according to the Kamalashilah's instructions. So, in very shortly, you can read the book and you will understand, but very shortly, the 5 parts of the Vipashyana, the first prerequisite conditions for Vipashyana, second, different forms of Vipashyana, third, categorizations of the nature of Vipashyana, and then fourth, methods of the meditation, and fifth, the measure of accomplishment, or determine of accomplishment of Vipashyana. So the first, we say, the prerequisite conditions of Vipashyana This section deals with the conditions necessary for Vipassana meditation. Kamalashila says, first, in order to meditate on Vipassana, you have to rely on a good teacher. So we must rely on a good teacher who gives, pure Dharma teaching and understood very well about Buddhist teaching, about Vipassana. It should be someone with sort of authentic experience of the teachings, with the good motivation, or with the we call the bodhicitta. Because Kamalashila said, if bodhicitta or the great compassion is missing, even great learning is of little use. He said that in his book. So I think that is very true. Because if someone teaches without bodhicitta mind, then the motivation will not so good, right? Without bodhicitta mind means someone someone is very selfish. Selfish people always think them, not others, right? So Buddhist teacher need so many qualities, but at least someone who teach at least need bodhicitta mind. So therefore, we need to rely on a special teacher who is able to teach accordance with the students' specific sort of abilities, with really motivation, good motivation. So usually, of course, there are different kind of teachers, right? Some are very scholarly and give sort of complete explanations based on the commentaries on different texts, right? It's very wise and scholarly teachers. Others may not be very scholarly, but give sort of instructions based on the great deal of personal experience of meditation. Both good, So as you know, in Buddhism, it's very important to investigate the source of what you are learning. And you do not go by sort of blind faith, but must come to a sort of decision through your own reasoning that Buddhism and the Buddha are sort of believable, So that's Kamalashila said, in order to practice Vipassana, first you need a great teacher, someone who has experience of Vipassana and someone who has a bodhicitta mind. And so in order to find that kind of teacher, first to examine the teacher in a general way, means that you have to investigate your teacher. That means to check whether or not this teacher has the qualities of bodhicitta that sort of described in the sutras and tantras of Buddhism, That's in general, right? That's in general. And also, sometimes, it's also very common, I think, you don't need to investigate. There is only, you have sort of a karmic connection, with this teacher, him or her. When you see or when you hear the teachings, you just have very strongly sort of connection with your teacher's heart, or that kind of teachers you have already sort of karmic connection. Then you don't have to sort of investigate, Like, for instance, Milarepa and his teacher Marba. Milarepa, one time he heard his teacher's name, Marba, and he got sort of, what do you call it, goosebumps, yeah, goosebumps, and he got tears, It's something like he can't say anything. Something is just like, he can't say just like that, for a moment. So that is really strong karmic connection. I mean, that very happen very commonly. It's teacher and student in Tibet. That common, very common. I don't know here, but that kind of teacher you don't have to investigate. And once you find the teacher, and then you have the relationship, dharma relation, the teaching relationship, you can't investigate. Understand? You can't investigate. Before you can, after you can't. Even though you find a bad teacher, you don't investigate. Just if you don't want to follow this teacher, just let go. Then you don't need sort of investigate, good or bad, or maybe you find something, already. So maybe you like, maybe you don't like. If you don't like, you don't have to follow, right? Just Buddha said that. Because you have already teachings, dharma, connection. So if you do something, investigate or something, bad for your teacher, it's really bad for your meditation. So first, investigate. Then, no investigate. So, Kamalashila's first, the prerequisite condition of meditation of Vipashyana, that's you have to find a good teacher, relying on a good teacher. Books not always help you, so that's why you have to have a teacher. And also Kamalashila says that the Vipassana arises from its cause in correct view. This means to develop correct view. We don't just receive these teachings, but rather we must analyze and examine them too, right? First you investigate teacher, then you investigate teaching, right? Buddha always say that. Even though Buddha said, my teaching, you should examine, analyze the teaching. You like, why not practice? He said, please practice. If you don't like, no problem. So this means we should not really accept teachings with sort of blind faith. Or maybe like you heard someone who is very famous person or very sort of, high, people. Oh, I like his teaching because he's famous. That's not good reason. You have to investigate. If you, for instance, we have today meditation here, shamatha, focus on your breath. You already that sort of tried, right? So if you like, then you should practice. That means you have to practice really more and more and more and more, right? If you don't like, no problem. You should find, try to find something else. You don't have to follow that. So that's Buddha said. I like that. You don't have to, practice that, but you just try. So that means you should understand. Don't really accept, teachings. We call the blind faith. Yeah, blind faith, right? So you can't see, but you just believe. Not good. First you want to see, and then you believe, yes. So you should analyze and examine them so that you can sort of cut through your uncertainty, or what do you call it, doubt, that the teaching from your teachers are really correct and it's really good for you and the right path. Now, that is very important. If you really looking for a teacher or teachings, you just need to understand first, okay? And some people, okay, then I understand, I have to investigate the teacher and teaching, and then people think, how I investigate the teacher. There are so many characters. According to Buddha's Sutras and Tantra's teachings, a teacher needs really so many qualities, but at least Patrul Rinpoche, what are my perfect teacher, you know that? He said, one who has a bodhicitta mind, that's enough. Then you can follow this teacher. You know bodhicitta, right? Bodhicitta mind. That's how you investigate teacher. That's easy, right? And then teaching, of course, you just meditate. Try it a few times, meditate. It's good for you, then that means it's good. You should meditate again. So that's how you Also sometimes teachings, you investigate through sort of your reason, logic, and logic. So I will teach you more sort of more Vipashyana about also nature mind later, okay? So now I think we need to practice meditation. I think that's more important than teaching. We talked about bodhicitta a little bit, so we're going to practice bodhicitta. Practice, I call this practice bodhicitta with rest and meditation. Bodhicitta is about kindness, right? Kindness. Someone who has a good mind. Bodhicitta can develop someone who has a good mind. So bodhicitta is actually a kind mind. So about bodhicitta actually means about sort of wishing that people, the happiness, wishing happiness to, of course, yourself. You cannot ignore yourself. And also other living beings, wishing happiness for other living beings. Usually when we say wishing happiness other living beings, that means you are included. But sometimes people don't understand that, so how about me? People say, if I wish in happiness, if I do something for happiness for others, how about me? But all living beings means you are also included, but also I will say separately, wishing happiness for yourself and for other beings. That is bodhicitta mind. So, bodhicitta mind, it requires you to connect with yourself and with your heart and to recognize others for what they are. It's really good. Bodhicitta, amazing. So, in order to meditate all the time, sit in comfortable and make sure your back straight, your shoulder relax and open. Rest your attention on the breath in this moment. Just, relax your body and deep, 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 deep breathe. Now what you're doing is maybe you like, maybe you don't like this, but anyway, I'm going to say this. Death. Death is certain. Death is certain. But the time of death is what? Uncertain. Yeah. So, and also it is very easy to know that everything is changing moment by moment, right? By naturally. For instance, your life, your situation, the environments, everything is changing moment by moment. This is how when you meditate bodhicitta with resting meditation, deep breath, and then you have to think this. Maybe you don't like this, but try. Death and impermanence. Death and impermanence are part of our life. You cannot ignore, even though you don't want to hear, but you cannot ignore. You cannot run away from these two. It's part of our life. So we have to accept and work with this thought. So death is very certain. We don't know when we are going to die. Very short, very long, we don't know. And everything is changed. Everything is changing moment by moment. So these two are part of our life. When you breathe in and breathe out, you think that everything is changing. Now I'm breathing in. Now I'm breathing out. When I breathe out, it's different than when I breathe in. 1 second, 2 seconds, or 1 minute already gone. Part of my life is already gone. Then when you breathe in, you start something new. When you breathe out, it's different than breathe in. Your life is that. Moment by changing your life, our life. As well as everything. Like that. If you really think deeply, this nature experience, the nature characteristic of all phenomena is amazing. Right? So everything is changing. So think that for a while, and then ask yourself, okay? What is the most important for you to do at this moment? Everything is changing. Death is uncertain. Death is certain. So now, what should I do? What is the most important at this moment? And then breathe again, very deeply and slowly, and experience your body fully and completely. And also experience your mind peacefully. And then what? You will see and you will understand about your life if you do this. Oh, I have a good life. That means you have a precious human life. Precious human life. That means you have to, understand that and to appreciate the life that you have in this moment. If you think the animals, one teacher came, let's say for instance a dog. Teacher says, you should say Oma ne Padme Hum. You repeat that after me, Oma ne Padme Hum. Then you right away you get enlightenment. No chance, because dog can't say Oma ne Padme Hum. We can, right? That means you have a precious human life. You have to understand that and appreciate. So, then deep again, breathe again, deeply. And let go your unpleasant situation and your worries. Because you have a precious human life. And everything is changing. So let go your unpleasant situation. And worry. The idea of worry makes you uncomfortable and really suffer, right? You don't want that. You don't want that in your life. So if you understand everything is changing, this is what we call impermanence. That means you understand impermanence, then you know that everything is changing. And it helps you to have a sort of better life, actually, and helps you to not worry for everything. Once you've done this, then also you need to breathe in, visualizing your breath moving into your body very slowly, okay? And you start by visualize yourself and wishing yourself very well, healthy, happiness, all sorts of things you visualize. When you breathe in, breath goes sort of, all your body, and then you wish, happiness for yourself and others, right? So as you do so, repeat this verse several times in a silence. Maybe healthy, maybe, happy, very important. And maybe also at peace when you breathe in. When you breathe out, you visualize your meditation is sort of extend to send love and bodhicitta to all living beings. When you breathe out, right? All sentient beings. You visualize them, wish them very well, and silently also repeat the verse using all living beings instead of I. When you breathe in, you say yourself, right? Be happy, be well, be, healthy. Healthy is the most important in our life. And then you breathe out. You send your love and bodhicitta to all living beings. Maybe they're all living beings healthy, happy, you know. And you just do that. Breathe in and out. And you may find that after this meditation, you feel really open and sort of compassionate. Because of the bodhicitta, this is bodhicitta meditation. Bodhicitta is so powerful concentration, you know. Then again, when you breathe in, visualize yourself, understand? And wishing yourself well. And you breathe out, visualize all living beings. They're well, happy, healthy. Maybe also breathe in and breathe out between these two. You just focus on your breath without any visualize. When you found sort of right spot, peacefulness or peaceful spot, you experience that inner peace. That's what we call inner peace, okay? And be aware of this inner peace and then sort of continue your meditation. This really make your heart open more and more. You know, this is practice bodhicitta with rest and meditation. Understand? Understand? Okay, let's do. Deep, deep, deep breathe. You should say yourself, I'm very happy. I have a precious human life. Right? I will do something good. I will do something good. And I will diminish all my negative things. I can. Everything is changing. There is nothing permanent. So I'm not going to repeat again. So you should meditate, follow my instructions, okay? Just I told you everything. Because there is not much time left. Yeah? Precious human life. Group meditation. You guys say yourself, I am very happy. I found this group, good energies. When you meditate on bodhicitta, everybody has good energy because of bodhicitta, right? When we get angry each other, there is a bad energy. This is good energy. Group meditation is always good energy. You share, and all these good energies come together, makes your meditation really strong and inspires you. Let's meditate.